And welcome back to Who Would Win, the week of Who Would Win. This is a birthday Who Would Win for GoTrex, who, and actually also Liam T also suggested this. I have to redo this video because I pressed the wrong record. I was recording virtual camera, which, no, that's not what I wanted. So look, I'll try to sum up what just happened in what I was doing up until I realized this. But look, guys, I've said it before. I'll say it again. I'm going to have to keep saying this. You can't give me birthday requests on your birthday. You got to give me at least a day prior, okay? Because I've already got a set schedule through the month that I write down, get in place so I know what I'm doing through the month. And you can't just spring that on me. That's not how that works. I'll honor it maybe after the fact, sure. But if you want it on the day of your birthday, I need at least the day prior. I got one coming on the 7th of June. That's 2 weeks. Plenty of damn time. But you can't. I feel like, and I know what it is too, partly. I get new people who sign up to the channel and they're excited about my content or like my content, so they want their request to happen. But you have to understand that, there's channel etiquette that has to be, that comes into play. A, birthday requests need at least a day prior. B, you spamming your comment isn't going to make me get to it any faster. I got people who constantly give me the same, and then you might ask, well, how do I know that you saw it? Believe me, I see every single comment that comes through here. Every once in a while, something might get flagged because it might be viewed as spam, but that's about it. So yeah, and it's a first come, first served basis. And you might think, well, I did this like a month ago and stuff like that. Well, guess what? There's people who have been here since I started on this channel. So, yeah. And I have a book and I have an order that goes through it. I might have to do a yearly etiquette video just to remind people how the channel functions in terms of etiquette. But yeah, and look, I'm not trying to yuck on your yum as the terminology is or anything like that. I'm just saying. You gotta try to control yourself just a little bit. Anywho, though, the birthday request was for alleged SCP 001 or 001, one of the options for it, Scarlet King versus, one second, Nyarlathotep. Nyarlathotep. It's that R part that gets me. See, I can do Nyarlathotep, no problem, but Nyarlathotep, I need to actually kind of phonetically say it out like that. Anyway, I will sum up what I just kind of went over with the Scarlet King. He is, depending on your interpretation, he is a primordial elder being that existed, that predates our universe, and just hates existence in general. He is kind of the leading cause for a lot of SCPs, and his goal is just destruction of our universe. He's pure and utter hatred, and he is apparently being on a multiversal level of power, threatening things like the tree of creation in their world. And it's even saying he might even be more powerful than that. His power set includes things like reality warping, immortality, blood manipulation, fire manipulation, incorporeality, suffering, empowerment, meaning negative emotions, suffering, pain. That all makes him stronger. Interdimensional travel, possession, mind manipulation, casualty manipulation. I'm actually not sure what casualty manipulation is. I'm gonna look that up. What is casualty manipulation? I've never heard that one. Reality dreaming. What in nature? Okay, nature emotion I get, but what is reality dreaming? It's like you're. Okay, hold on. Casualty manipulation. What is casualty manipulation? Users can manipulate casualties, the relationships between cause and causality manipulation. I'm sorry, that's my bad. I thought it was casualty manipulation. It's causality manipulation. That's pretty good. Reality dreaming? Is it that you can bring your dreams into reality? Is that what it is? Let's see here. Reality dreaming. Let's see here. Super. The creator from Marvel, who originates from the strange divine God who's dreaming all creation itself in an attempt to. Oh, I see okay, I get what they mean by that. I don't know if it's Nyarlathotep who does this, but there is an individual in H.P. Lovecraft that also has this. What they mean by reality dreaming is that all the reality we know of right now is just a dream being dreamt by a sleeping god. And when that god wakes up, we just pop out of existence. That's the concept. Okay, that's what they mean by that. And so the Scarlet King has been defeated, though, in several storylines. So he's not all powerful, but he is extremely dangerous. Nyarlathotep is also known by many other names, including the Crawling Chaos, and is the main antagonist of the Cthulhu mythos, the work of the late famous author H.P. Lovecraft, who has God knows how many problems. He is an evil outer god who is seen as a shape-shifting agent of madness, chaos, and ruin, who serves the other outer gods, specifically his father, Azaloth, the blind idiot god, to whom he is subservient, fulfilling his wishes without question as a messenger. And oh, you mother god, I don't know why they keep doing this. Where'd you go? Fulfilling his wishes without question as his messenger and emissary, though he sometimes enjoys manipulating his master. He often visits Earth and enjoys bringing madness and suffering to inferior beings, humans among them. He spends his time manipulating the seeming humans or driving them insane for his own sadistic pleasure. It is said that he will be the god who brings destruction to Earth. He is also the archenemy of Randolph Carter in Nodin. So when we're talking about power sets, we're talking about an individual who is also nigh omnipotent, immortal, omni-manifestation, can look like anything and everything. He has godly powers, which we can get into a little bit. Trickery, deception, charisma, manipulation, nigh omniscience, limitless strength and speed. What the hell is paraphroniscus? Okay, that's, again, I'm going to look that one up. As well as esokinesis. Man, I'm learning so much today. Like, I'm a big nerd and a power guy, but these are ones that I do not know. Okay. The three is known as the power of paraphroniscus. Madness manipulation. Okay. All right. That makes sense. Especially when we're talking about like eldritch horror. What is esokinesis, though? ESSO-kinesis. Let's see here now. Because I'm familiar, obviously, with like pyrokinesis, cryokinesis, chronokinesis, phytokinesis. But let's see. That's the ability to manipulate. It's just, why don't you say reality will manipulate? Why are you going to use the fancy terminology here? Come on. That's the reality warping, telepathy, avatar, abstract existence, ability to freely traverse every plane of existence, chaos manipulation, regeneration, higher dimensional manipulation, acasuality, which basically is, cause and effect manipulation, eldritch physiology, fear and death manipulation, precognition, matter manipulation, elemental manipulation, invulnerability, and otherworldly godly powers. To go at least a bit more specific into what exactly they're referring to here. There we go. So powers and abilities. While nowhere near as powerful as, say, Azaloth, nor the cosmic entity Yog-Sothoth, he remains to be an outer god, and as such, Nyarlathotep is immortal and incredibly powerful, while also being highly complex in their cities. Believes that he is able to control mystic energies, the cosmos, to varying effects at an undefined level, both cosmic and demonic as well. He's able to manifest his vast multiple avatars, while the god's near balanced intelligence is behind each of them. Each avatar varies greatly in appearance, power, and purpose. Some avatars are even worship, but doesn't really matter. He also induces madness like Cthulhu does. So that's not a lot to go off of, admittedly. One thing we can actually lean towards a little bit is, in terms of kind of how they stack up in terms of their statuses as deities, is the fact that he's an outer-versal god. The outer-versal gods are the overarching antagonists of the race. They are the most powerful entities in work of H.P. Lovecraft, and are the great old ones. And will you stop with these ads? God, I hate these ads. Start the cause and function of great old ones. So outer essentially means that these guys are kind of like their homeworld isn't a world. It's a dark tapestry / ultimate void. Basically, these guys are outer. Kind of describes itself as more than multiversal. And because let me just be sure about it. Because if they truly are outerversal, but not just name alone, then there's a very easy way to kind of see how the Scarlet King stacks against Nyarlathotep. Versal tiers. Versal tiers. There we go. Tiers. All right. Tiering system for versal beings. Okay, here we go. So let's see here. We have, I mean, this is coming from the Versus Wiki, so take that for what it's worth. But real quick, you have your tiering system. I mean, let's see here. Okay, so you have your average human level, athlete level, moving. I'll probably look into this a bit more actually. So you large planet level, dwarf star level. Stupid freaking it adds. Okay, multi-galaxy. We both know right now these guys are universal. Minimum. Low multiversal. Okay, we know that Scarlet King is at least multiversal. So, multiversal level characters who can destroy or create up to 1,000 universal space-time continuums. Let's see, multiversal B, multiversal levels, megaversal. Okay, so that's hyperversal, low metaversal. Here's the problem. That's where at least the Versus tier ends, is metaversal, which technically speaking is so sounds like outer god, I believe that's the terminology they use here. It seems to it does not seem to actually reflect their versal level. Now, we can definitely say that we are probably dealing with a multiversal level individual with Nyarlathotep, because even like Cthulhu can affect like things on a universal level, and he's low in the totem pole for the gods. And then you get like guys that are stronger with him. So if hypothetically, if they're the same level of power, then this is just a stalemate match. There's not much they can do against each other that the other can't do in contention. Versus Prima Series, Universal tier. Okay, let's try real quick. Because I've got. Oh wait. So there is an outer versal. The Versus Wiki just doesn't mention it at all. Where is outer versal on this scale? Complex. Okay. Hypothetically, if outer versal did exist, outer versal is actually one below metaversal, which is the highest technical archetype, technically speaking. So it's basically one level beyond that, or one level below that. And if the outer gods are in fact true outer versal beings, then the Scarlet King's effed, because the Scarlet King at best is a high multiversal, low hyperversal. And yeah, that means that if the gods really are outer gods, really are outer versal beings, then it doesn't matter how strong the Scarlet King is, he's going to lose outright. But assuming that that's not the case, and these guys are more like comparable multiversal beings, it is a stalemate fight to a degree, because feeding off madness is something they both do, feeding off suffering, like all of that, it's something they both do and work off against. The problem, I guess, just comes down to the idea that as long as suffering, pain from humanity exists, neither is going to die. So I guess the idea would be, could one trap the other then in some fashion, in some like multiversal eldritch being level cage? And if that's possible, the being, I think, has the level of power to do so probably would be Nyarlathotep, because in terms of actual reality warping, the Elder Gods in Lovecraft have just displayed a much more consistent level of it. So whereas Scarlet King is a lot more behind the scenes kind of guy, even though they're all kind of behind the scenes. Nyarlathotep definitely will get his hands dirty and enjoys it. Scarlet King does it to a degree, but to a lesser extent. from what I can tell. So I think this will go to Nyarlathotep. And I keep saying his name over again because I like saying his name. It's great word pronunciation. It's great to kind of pronounce those kind of words. It's easier for me to pronounce other words down the way that I had difficulty with. There's a word I had to, when I thought I was recording and it turned out I wasn't, I had to stop and to try to pronounce a word that I saw in the description of the Scarlet King's bio. And I'm like, I can't pronounce this word because I've never seen this word before. I've never even heard of this word. I've shared it before, but the reason pronunciation is as difficult as it is for me is because, and the reason that I compensate by trying to use like larger words in my vocabulary. I legitimately try to the reason I sometimes use a bit fancier of a vocabulary sometimes is not to sound smart. Well, let me rephrase that. It's not to solely sound smart. It's cool to know words like that and use them properly. But it's also so I can kind of compensate for my follies when it comes to speech dialect. Because I had to take speech therapy as a kid. In school, I would take it out of my classes to have like a one-on-one, like a hour-long one-on-one speech therapy with my with a speech therapist. Because my sister had that problem too. Man, I think back to it and and I actually apparently saw a person I had who taught me in elementary school at work a couple days ago, actually, and she mentioned he had special education with me. I'm like, yeah, and I heard that. I'm like, God, like, am I like, I'm on the spectrum or something? Like, I don't think I am. And then no, okay, it was special education because it was speech therapy. But yeah, I had trouble. To this day, I still have trouble finding words, especially if I'm getting really excited and start kind of speed mumbling a little or speed ranting a bit. I will hit a point in my sentence where I know what the word I want to find, but I can't find it in my head, so I stumble and hesitate. Pronunciation is also a problem. Like I have a large tongue. I'm not ladies, no, but I'm not trying to brag. I have a large tongue, which made pronunciation very difficult as a kid. And it still makes it a little difficult now and then because occasionally I do bite either my tongue or the inside of my little cheek, either when I'm chewing or I'm eating or I'm talking really fast. So, learning to slow my speech down really helps. I also have a little bit of a volume control problem. I had that since I was a kid. So I do have to sometimes be conscious of it. And unfortunately, if I get too excited and I'm not thinking about it, let's be fair, when we're talking, most of us aren't consciously thinking about the volume of our voice. It's not until someone kind of speaks up that you realize, oh, I'm being a little too loud. Unless you suddenly go, ha, and then you're like, oh, I'm sorry. So yeah, that's why I kind of try to heighten my vocabulary when I speak a little bit. For case in point, I can say the word vocabulary, but I can't say it very quickly because otherwise it comes out vocabulary. Well, no, because I'm focusing on it. But if I wasn't thinking about it and just talking about vocabulary, sometimes something like that I'd stumble over. Anyway, that's a little insight into my life. So happy birthday. Hope you enjoyed this. Let me know who you got in this fight. Someone who knows both of these better than I do. Because I know enough about the SCP Foundation, and I know a solid amount about H.P. Lovecraft, but Mark would actually know a lot more than me on this. And when it comes to H.P. Lovecraft, and maybe even the SCP Foundation. Mark was the one who turned me on to the SCP Foundation, so maybe I'll get his opinion next time I see him on who actually wins in that fight. But anyway, I digress. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. See you later, and have a good night, everyone.